back to school picture. When we were kids, we were lucky if our parents remembered to buy film for the camera on the big day.
And it got developed like a year later.
If they did, yeah, Lord only knows. Eventually, you'll see those photos. But now, back to school pictures can be a real big production with some custom props, stage settings, and lots of stress for parents and kids.
But it doesn't have to be. With a little pre-planning and some creativity, you can capture the moment without going crazy. So here to share his ideas, we welcome TCL senior producer and freelance photographer Christian Unser back to Twin Cities Live. Nice to see you, Christian.
Hello, guys.
Okay, so like how big are we talking? I mean, what are people doing when it comes to these back-to-school photos?
If you do a search for back-to-school photo ideas, you're going to see some crazy ideas. I have some examples that I've pulled here. This first one is what I'm saying is too much work. There are 4 chalkboards involved, a miniature schoolhouse, decorations on the wall. I'm just thinking about, like, if I said to my wife, hey, honey, can you go set up the 4 chalkboards for this picture? Like, no, we're not going to do that. Right, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
The next one is, I'm calling too many props. They've set up a schoolhouse in the middle of a field with a flag and a desk and a globe.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. This is, you know, if you want to do these things, more power to you. I do not have it in me.
Yeah,
so,
I think a lot of people don't have the time.
Get the globe?
That's right. Where is the antique globe? We have to go to the field with it. So there's that. And then this last one I'm saying is unrealistic. So what they said in the description is, get to the classroom early and take some pictures in the classroom with your kids.
No.
No.
That's just not going to happen. Plus, classrooms do not look like that anymore. There aren't chalkboards. They've got smart boards. They've got you know, stuff all over the walls. It's not a one-room schoolhouse anymore. So I think these are a little bit unrealistic.
Okay, so how can we make it great, make it fun, and still memorable?
Well, there are a couple ways to do it. One thing we talked about at the beginning of the show is to take them early.
Yeah.
And if you take those pictures towards the end of the day, the sun looks very similar to what it looks like at the beginning of the day.
So maybe the evening before.
The evening before would be a fun.
Anyway.
Sure, they're trying on their clothes. Take them outside, take a few pictures. That's a great way to alleviate some of that first morning stress.
Right.
If you're going to do it the morning of, though, I have some recommendations.
Okay.
So it's a timeless classic, but taking the picture in the same location every year is a great example of an easy thing that you can do. So on the left is my son Gabriel on his first day of kindergarten. On the right is his last day of 5th grade. So this is the beginning and end of elementary school for him. So I just made sure I got him in the same position for that picture.
And then you really see the change.
Right, and then I took the pictures of my 2 kids, Hannah and Gabe, in relatively the same place for a number of years.
Yeah.
So every time we look back at their school pictures, they've got this.
You can see the comparison.
It's a fun way to look back and kind of think about those things.
Okay, so
that's
speaking of fun, you actually want to be having fun when these photos are being taken.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to let your kids' personality shine through. And like you said also at the beginning of the show, just having them stand there and smile and awkwardly.
First day of school mugshot.
Right, like we can do better than that. So let's find the personality in there. So the kids are running for the bus on this one. And some of these we actually went out and just took last night, so I can have some examples to show today. But that's them looking for the bus. I gave Hannah a couple of pencils. She's a bit of a character. This is what she came up with. I actually like this picture a lot. We have another one of her with a pencil. These are just sort of fun pictures to look back on.
Is this your fancy camera or your iPhone?
This is my fancy camera. Yep, a little bit fancier camera, just a DSLR, nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can take that picture would have worked with an iPhone too. It's just I happen to do it with my real camera. No props needed for that either. And I have some other examples of no props being needed. She's going into the 3rd grade on this one.
I love this picture.
So I actually
really
have
cool.
kind of a crazy lens on my camera. That's why her arm looks so long. But you can get the same effect with any camera. And I did the same thing with Gabe for his going into 5th grade. So
that's fun.
Just kind of a fun, dramatic picture on the first day of school.
Now, you mentioned it's important to include others who aren't going to school. What do you mean?
Yeah, so the kids aren't the only ones that are involved in this big day. So one thing this is an actual picture that I took back when Gabe was going into kindergarten and Hannah was not. So I took a picture of Hannah on that first day of school, looking at her brother. And I'm so glad I got that picture, and I wasn't trying to do anything at the time. I just looked over, and that's what she looked like.
Yeah.
And so I got that picture. So that's when I really look back on and kind of tears me up.
Yeah, it's making me feel like I'm now imagining my child looking at my daughter.
But nowadays, we have a dog now. So I set up a picture of the kids walking away, and the dog was just sitting there watching them, and I took a picture of that.
I mean, Christian.
And this is him saying goodbye to them. That's the idea here. And then I have another one of Hannah where he just crawled up into her lap. And cutest kids in the world, cutest dog in the world, I am aware. Don't, you don't have to tell me.
Don't email the show. He knows.
Right. So just think about the other people. And that includes the other parents, if the grandparent, you know, the you can switch off the camera, make sure you're in the picture too. Just you're a part of this as well, and I like to capture that.
That's nice.
Getting moments as opposed to poses, there's probably a fine line there.
Yeah, and this is where you kind of want that formal picture. You want something that's like, all right, we got them looking at the camera, we got them smiling, you can see their outfit, great. Once that's done, try to look for some moments. So if they're getting on the bus, try to get into a position where you're away from them, and you might be able to capture an image. My kids didn't take the bus, but this was them walking to school together on the first day that they were both going to the same school.
Oh my gosh,
and we
they're
just stopped.
holding hands.
We just stopped at the bottom of the hill, and I told them to walk up the hill, and I just took a picture of them. So that I really like that picture.
And they're going off into the world without you, Christian.
I have another one here that we took. Again, we were just taking pictures. This is my son going into school on his very first day of school. That's my wife's shadow and my shadow down on the ground in front. So again, I just took it. I wasn't trying to set that up, but it ended up a picture I look back on now and just love.
Because then you really remember the feeling of that moment.
Right.
And I love that because now you as a parent, I mean, that's sweet for them to look back on, but you as a parent, you're going to look back and you're going to go, I always remember sending him off into the world or sending that, and that's so special.
I think you want to look at these things and not just be like, oh, this was the first day of school, but try to come up with the emotions that were happening at that time. And I think that's hard to do when it's just like that mugshot photo.
Yeah.
Try to get what that day is actually like for everyone involved.
Oh, Christian, that's so fun.
Really good.
Oh, I just am crying so much today.
This is a weepy
I'm
episode
emotional.
Here. If you'd like a little more from Christian and a link to his photography site, Unser Imagery, you can go to TwinCitiesLive.com and click on Fun. Thanks so much,
What
Christian.
else is going to make us tear up?
Well, let's keep going.
Let's find out.